the new McDonald's in Moscow was headline news throughout the world.
Muscovites queued for hours today to taste the delights of fast food when McDonald's opened their first restaurant in the Soviet Union.
Son los arcos dorados de McDonald's, la popular cadena.
Rumbling Russian tummies are being well and truly filled. American
In all, 30,000 people will taste McDonald's food today, a new world record. And the restaurant, which should close at 10 p.m., will stay open until midnight, so no one will be disappointed. Opening day is an unquestioned success and a promise of even better things to come. More than 3 years have passed since that historic beginning. Today, winds of change are blowing through Moscow. Music fills the streets. Newlyweds begin their lives together with hopefulness and joy. Entrepreneurs, artists, and craftsmen abound. Churches are again filled with worshipers. And food, though expensive, is available everywhere. As a market economy blossoms in Moscow, so does the Moscow McDonald's joint venture. By June 1993, the restaurant on Pushkin Square had served over 50 million customers. An average of 40 to 50,000 people a day, every day. Its original staff of 630 Russian crew members has swelled to over 1,500. And the restaurant is as spanking clean and new as the day it opened. Hamzat Hazbulatov is now Deputy General Director of the Moscow McDonald's joint venture. Evgeny Schneiderov, formerly a Moscow city government employee, is Director of Construction. And a young woman named Vera Ivanovskaya, a member of the original Pushkin crew, recently became director of this, the busiest McDonald's in the world. This is truly a success story of the Russian people.
When we started, we had, boy, oh boy, 80 or 90, let's call it expats, foreigners, who work for us over there. And now we're down to a handful. And what does that really show? It shows a tremendous success story on behalf of the Russian employees. And I go to the plant and I see, you know, that the meat line and the potato line and the dairy line and the bakery are all run by Russians. And I go in the restaurants and the management teams are all Russians. It shows what can happen. We put our trust in them, we put our faith in them, and they return by rising to the occasion. I think it's just wonderful to have McDonald's in Russia run by Russians. That's the way it should be.
Mutual trust is the key to McDonald's success in Moscow. Success in which its employees take great personal pride.
When I first got a job, it was working for McDonald's. And as the company grew, I grew as well. Now I can't imagine my life without the company.
I met McDonald's and I think I love this company. I love McDonald's from the first day when we met. And I really appreciate everything what McDonald's did for me and I think for all our people. And it's not a joke when we're saying that McDonald's is a family. It's really a family which helps and which teaches.
On June 1st, 1993, the McDonald's building opened on Ogoreva Street. Just minutes from the Kremlin, this 12-story, $15 million office building is the most modern in Moscow and is the new home of Coca-Cola, American Express, Mitsui, and the Upjohn Company, among others. On its main floor is the second McDonald's restaurant in Moscow, which opened to worldwide press coverage and long lines of eager customers. The most important visitor, however, was Boris Yeltsin, who spent nearly 2 hours touring the restaurant, talking with crew members.
You just show us, we can do anything.
And tasting the McDonald's food he has heard so much about. Meanwhile, in the historic area of Moscow called the Arbat, Russian construction crews, local artists and craftspeople labored on the third Moscow McDonald's restaurant. Located in 2 historic buildings, one dating back to 1753, this restaurant will seat over 400 customers at a time and will employ more than 1,100 people. The complete restoration of the buildings has taken 2 years to finish and involved a team of 240 local engineers, construction workers, architects, and artists. It was one of the most extensive restoration projects ever undertaken in the Arbat. This, like the other Moscow McDonald's, will accept only rubles, rubles which the company reinvests into the city and its people. In fact, since the joint venture began, McDonald's has invested over $68 million in the effort and has helped raise over $2 million to support children in need throughout the Commonwealth of Independent States. And the McDonald's McHappy Van, a mobile facility with portable play equipment and a recreational program for disabled children, makes regular visits to hospitals and orphanages. But what about McComplex and its Russian suppliers? Demands from the 3 restaurants are so high that McDonald's has increased its local supplier base from 65 to 150 independent producers. Some, like Anatoly Revyakin, now even process the raw ingredients they grow into a finished product that meets McDonald's highest standards. Anatoly sells his excess cucumbers and pickles to the people of Moscow. So thanks to his association with McDonald's, he now has a thriving private business of his own. It's July 2nd, 1993, the day before the opening of the new Arbat McDonald's. Workers finish last-minute touches. Everything is ready for tomorrow's opening. By 9 a.m. on opening day, over 10,000 anxious customers crowded historic Arbat Street. Everyone wanted to see the restoration they had watched for more than a year. At the opening celebration, Kohan presented a check for 15 million rubles, the day's estimated receipts, to Mrs. Naomi Yeltsin for the Moscow Institute for Pediatric Oncology. The ribbon was cut, and the waiting customers poured in. The gaily decorated restaurant swirled with activity that day. And by closing time, it had served more than 60,000 Russians. A new world record. The Russian people have risen to this opportunity with dedication, enthusiasm, and unbelievable energy. They have made Moscow McDonald's an unprecedented success. One day, there will be hundreds of McDonald's restaurants in Russia. But even now, the effects of this joint venture are rippling through the entire Russian system. Young crew members are learning a new standard in customer service. Longer-term employees are reaping the benefits of pay based on performance. Suppliers are receiving a much-needed boost for making private industry profitable. And the needy children of this country are getting the help they so desperately need. So in uncertain times, fraught by social and political change, Moscow McDonald's continues to be a restaurant for the people. Many said it couldn't be done, but this joint venture is an unquestioned success. Moscow McDonald's 3 restaurants now serve over 70,000 people a day, every day. And though lines are often very long, there is always food at the end, so no one seems to mind waiting. One Russian citizen called this joint venture the dove of perestroika. McDonald's calls it hamburger diplomacy. Whatever you name it, it has led to greater understanding at a very personal level between 2 cultures. And it's hope for the future that a market economy will become a reality for the people of Russia.